Hey guys, this is Omniscience with my fifth time trying to record this tutorial. So, we're going to be creating some stylized fire within After Effects today, and this isn't your super realistic fume effects, ridiculous looking fire. This is just sort of something you can composite into your shots in the background. You know, maybe you have a little cartoon game you're creating and you need some fire. I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to show you guys a technique, and it's all done with plugins that are in After Effects. So that's pretty helpful in my opinion. So before we get started, I'm going to actually try to update you guys a little bit on where my channel is going to go. I'm going to continue uploading my VFX stuff and montages, Halo stuff. I should actually have a scrapped render for you guys that I have just lying around on my hard drive. Probably going to upload that as soon as my internet stops being a piece of garbage. So tutorial-wise, I guess the direction I want to go with tutorials is not going to be, you know, like your grayscale gorilla type of crazy long 3D tutorials. It's going to be more little things that people might not know about, little tips, and just trying to teach you guys to use the plugins that are within After Effects to the best of your advantage. So that's where I'm going to go. If you guys want to request a tutorial, I would certainly be open to that, as long as it's not like show me how to create Avatar or something ridiculous like that. So feel free to request tutorials and I'll try to get on it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. So I've already created my new composition. It's just 1280 by 720, 10 seconds long, 30 frames per second. That doesn't really matter. You can do this with anything. I'm going to create a new solid, white, and we're going to get fractal noise and drag that onto the layer. Now we can tweak this later, but I know that I'm going to want the contrast to be about 150. So let's start with that. Now we're going to go ahead and pre-compose that layer, and we're going to type in here Mercury, and we're going to grab Mr. Mercury and throw him on the layer. Now what this plugin does is it takes a layer you have that you put it on, and it turns the layer into these little blobby guys like this, and it works with anything. It works with video. It's actually a pretty powerful plugin, and I don't see a lot of people really using it. It's kind of cool in that it does turn your layer into particles, and it does some of the things that Trapcode Form does, just it's built into After Effects, and it's a little bit less powerful, but it's a cool plugin. So we're going to change the animation type to fire because we're trying to create fire. And I'm just going to go ahead and bring down the producer to right about there. That way we actually have fire. So you can play with the settings, the radius, blah, 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 blah. None of this is going to make that big of a difference. The only thing I really want to change is I'm going to set it to blob in so that we don't have the fire kind of disappearing into these little blobs. Now, I mean, this is a cool thing if you want it to just be endlessly going up to the top of the screen like that, but I actually want it to be a flame. So I'm going to go back into our original fractal noise comp, and I'm going to add kind of just a little mask, if my computer would not suck, and just, I don't know, fiery, woo. Yeah, just something like this will work. And let's close that. And we're also going to feather the mask about 60 pixels. Something like that. Arbitrary number. It's really up to you. And that'll create this cool looking effect where the flame actually gets cut off like it's supposed to. And see, that looks very good in my opinion. I like that. So you can play with the lighting. I'm actually going to do something a little interesting here. We can change the light to a nice fiery orange. That's very pretty, Paul. Anyways, moving on. So we can also change the direction of it, and if we actually animate this with an expression, we're going to alt-click on the stopwatch, and we're going to type time times 200. And this will just sort of make the light direction automatically animate, and it's going to add another little moving element to the fire that we wouldn't have had otherwise. So that's about it for the Mercury part. Now, to colorize this, this is our fire. We can colorize it to make it look like fire, obviously, because right now it just looks like smoke, essentially. So I'm going to use Colorama. You can use whatever you want. I used Tritone. I originally did this, but just for the sake of this tutorial, Colorama is going to be really easy for me to do. And I'm just going to go to the presets palette because I'm lazy, and I'm going to click on fire. So now we have something that actually looks like fire, which is a bonus, obviously. And this is, you can stop here if you want. This is our little fire animation, and it looks great, but there's a few things that I like to do to it to make it look a little bit more like fire. So the first thing I'm going to do is add CC glass to it, and that's just going to bulge it out a little bit more like that. You can play with the surface settings. I think it looks fine, basically where it is. Maybe bring the height up a little bit. I wouldn't bring it up too much because it'll stop looking like fire at a certain point. I'm actually going to drop that back down to 20. 25, yeah. So that's one thing you can do. And another thing that I like to do, since these edges are so sharp, and fire is not like that in real life, I'm going to add a vector blur to it, and just put, no, that's too much. Maybe 4? I think 4 would work. Yeah, just a little bit of vector blur on it to soften the edges, make it look a little bit more stylized almost, and just make it look good. So that's basically our fire. You can add a glow to this. You can add smoke using the same technique behind it, but I want to keep this tutorial short, and I'm not really going to go over that. So that's about it. I'll pause the video and show you guys the final animation. So here is our finished result, or a little bit of it. And maybe it'll work, or maybe I'll have to there we go, sorry. So there we have it. I think it looks pretty decent. It looks glitchy right now because I have Camtasia Studio up, but you can go a variety of ways with this. I think this is moving a little too fast, so if I were to use this, I would go back and adjust it. But I think that it looks pretty good, and certainly for plugins built within After Effects, I think it's pretty convincing flame. So that's it. Thanks, guys. I will hopefully be uploading more stuff soon. And, I have like 10 subscribers right now, so that kind of sucks. So if you guys, just please subscribe if you like this. I will definitely be working on this channel more as I'll have more time. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Peace.